Sorry.
No, you're good. We're glad to see your face.
It's good to be here.
Good, good, good. Jolyn was just telling everybody, we'll come back and kind of introduce you in a little bit, but Jolyn was just telling everybody what the BBW community is and how that group kind of functioned and what they're about and how that kind of parlayed into the All of Me movie. She was just kind of doing a general introduction. So please, Jolyn, continue.
You know, the three of us who were in the movie, we've all since had weight loss surgery, and we've all done very well. And you know, it's just a movie to follow our lives, you know. And because I was the only one in the group who hadn't had weight loss surgery when I was approached to be on the TV show, then I got to be part of the new club too.
The new club. Okay. How long were you guys all together in, you know, the BBW group before people started having weight loss surgery?
You know,
You're breaking up. Come back.
Oh, no.
A big community for a long time.
Right. Right. All right. Well, we're going to wait for your picture to come back. And in the meantime, thank you for sharing about that. And if you haven't seen All of Me, it is a really wonderful documentary. And it was shown on PBS Independent Lens. And I know that Bariatric Pal was doing giving people an opportunity to watch it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that they'll do that again. So if you haven't seen it, it's a wonderful documentary about the process of weight loss surgery and the idea of getting to the point where people have chosen to do it and the process afterwards. So that's what that's about. Laura, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us about you, who you are, what you do, blah, blah, blah. Just a general introduction, and then we'll kind of get on to the specific topic for tonight.
Okay, sounds good. So my name is Laura Van Tile, and I am, let's see, in April, I will be 13 years out from gastric bypass. And, well, what I do, my husband, you know, says that I'm a professional volunteer. So I guess that's why this topic is here.
Absolutely.
So my husband and I spent probably 40 years, 35 years, something like that. I guess 35 years in Christian ministry. So that's kind of where I guess I got the my foundation for volunteerism, if you will. So I definitely am a woman of faith, and at the core, I really want to see people live an abundant life, and that's how I got involved in, you know, doing some mentoring and things like that throughout the year, and a lot of my experience with volunteering has been within the church. But then after I had weight loss surgery, I thought, oh, well, this is a community that I need to give back to. So I'm very, very involved in the weight loss surgery community nationally and locally.
Very cool. 13 years since your surgery?
Well, in April, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're the person I know in real life who's had the weight loss surgery the longest, I think.
Really? I think he
Well, maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tenny McCarty. Yeah, Tenny McCarty had it years and years and years and years and years ago. So
he's like
something,
yeah.
Right. Jolyn, how long ago did you have your weight loss surgery?
Let's see, I had gastric bypass in 2013.
Yay.
So
so you're in the you're out of the honeymoon phase and into the working this like crazy phase, right?
I'm in the phase where I thought weight loss surgery was supposed to fix me. Connie.
Oh, we've never talked before?
I'm still broken. What in the world?
Well, that's one of the things that's so interesting, and part of the reason I do so much volunteer work in this community is because, you know, you were no stranger to the weight loss community, and so no matter how many times a person hears it, I think until you're there, it's really hard to understand that this is not This does not fix the head, you know? And that's like Laura said, part of her reason is to, you know, want people to live these fuller lives. And that's what I want too. And so that's why I'm as involved as I am, because I know the joy of living in recovery from addiction. And not that everybody who has a weight problem has a food addiction, but many people refer to themselves as such. And you guys know the joy of living at a healthier weight, even if you're not fixed yet, because I don't know that we ever completely get fixed, but we get fixter. Fixter?
Right.
Is that a word? I make up words. I call Laura the volunteeringest person I know.
Yeah, is that a word, Connie? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hey, so Yvonne, I see Yvonne just joined us. Yvonne, how many years are you post-op? Let's make sure that we know this.
That's right.
Yeah. It's okay.
And Laura Preston too, been a lot of years.
Oh, how many years?
About 10.
Oh,
okay, Yvonne 14.
Oh,
yep, Laura Preston 11. So
between them.
You know, girls, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be falling into that category we call old timers pretty soon.
Well, I'm already in the timers category as far as age is concerned.
No, this is not an age thing. In AA, I'm an old timer because I have a lot of years of recovery, one day at a time, right? So
I'm two for then, you know, old timer weight loss surgery wise and old timer life wise.
There you go.
I'm good with that.
And you know what's impressive about all of us that are here, either on screen or joining us, is that no matter how much recovery or time in, you know, the recovery period from obesity or the recovery period from addiction of other sorts, we all have something to give back. And I love, you know, Jeanlyn, you've been in this weight loss community for a long time, and specifically in the weight loss surgery community for a much shorter time. But you have a lot to give, and you do a lot as well. And Laura, your whole life has been about volunteering. I have a question that I was going to ask at the end, but I'm going to ask it now because of your extensive history with volunteer work. And we'll get to specifically the kinds of volunteer work that you guys each do and what you like the best and what you get from it. Are you able to say no? Because people know you're a very big volunteer in many arenas. So do you have the ability to say no when your plate is full?
I'm going to say no for Laura.
That was my wonderful husband calling me. Did you hear that? Sorry.
No, what did he say?
Well, I don't know. I hung up on you.
Oh, hi, Larry.
No, he's gone. I had already told him that I was going to be on the phone between 5 and 6. But anyway, yeah, you know what? Many years ago, I couldn't say no, especially to things that I really liked, you know. It was easy to say no to stuff that you don't like to do, but you know, there's so many things out there that, you know, call to me. So it was hard for me to say no. And then I started this what do you call it? A habit of saying no to one thing weekly. And I tell that to people sometimes that I know as I mentor them and say, okay, you're too busy. How about this? Try saying no to one thing a week. So you kind of get into that habit and you hear what it sounds like, you know, no, you know. So, you know, pretty much what I've done, I've kind of drawn a little, you know, box, if you will, that says, these are the things that I want to do. And these are inside the box are there good things, right? But they're not inside my wheelhouse and not things that I really want to do. So if it involves people and relationships, I'm usually right there, you know. But even at that, you know, you want to work with people that are teachable, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So does that answer your question? So, yes, in a time of my life it was difficult, but I think I got it now. Awesome.
What about you, Jeanlyn? Are you able to say no, or has that ever been an issue for you?
It's never been an issue for me. I'm always up for a good, you know, I'm always up for something. If it's going to make somebody feel good, or it's going to, you know, bring joy to my life or anyone else's life, then I don't get asked often. So So when I do get asked, I like to make.
Well, the reason I brought that up, and you guys can probably give some examples of this from people you know in your real life, but you don't have to use names, please don't. But you probably have found that a lot of people who are givers, right? Part of it is because it's their natural, God-given, personality. Part of it can be the need to be liked, accepted, included, that sort of thing. So I think that a lot of times I hear from people, I don't know how to say no. I was one of those people. And what that leads to a lot of time is resentment. It's like, you don't have time for yourself, your children, your spouse, your family, the thing that are in that most inner wheelbox, like Laura was talking about, and then you become resentful. So one of the great things to learn, if you have that kind of thing going on, is about boundaries. And I think that's kind of what you guys are saying. If it's not in this inner box, because there are so many options for Laura, you've got to be able to say no. And another suggestion that I was given was this was back in the day, okay? There were none of these little things, when people answered the phone on the wall and stuff. They told me take a yellow sticky note and put it on the wall that says, I'll have to think that over and get back to you. Because before I even thought about it, I would say yes. So do you guys know people like that? And, oh, we lost a friend. She'll call back in. Do you know people like that, Laura? And you were saying when you mentor people, is that one of the things you have to do?
I know a lot of people that are like that are, that are just like I am. And what the interesting thing is about people that are yes people, if you will, once you start saying no, usually the people that are asking you, they just kind of go on to the next yes person. I really noticed that. So then you have to kind of get over that feeling of being used, by the way.
That's right. And that's what I mean, the resentment. Yeah.
There's that stuff going on. So I think it's good. It's actually good to give other people the opportunity to do the things. And I think that's why it's really important to make a list of priorities in your life. What things, I told you I have the little box,
right.
And to make a list of your priorities. Priorities change. My kids are grown now and everything. And so them being a priority in my life, they are not at the same place as they were, years ago when they were smaller and things like that, so there's always been on my list of priorities other people, but it was always down the list, after my relationship with God, after my husband, after my, kids, after my immediate family, and, and myself is in there too, by the way.
Thank goodness. I'm glad that you noted that.
That is good.
And like Laura Preston said, it's like a oxygen mask on an airplane. You got to put yours on first. They tell you before you help others. So you've got to take care of those priority relationships first. And I was thinking while you were saying that, what the heck was I thinking? You know how things just fly in and out of the brain at this age. I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
I read a book one time that talked about the sacred pools in Hawaii, and I've never been. I think they're on Maui maybe, and I've never been there.
Right.
But have you ever been there to where the sacred pool, it's like 1,000 pools or something, and I'm not doing 1,000, but I think there's like, there's a lot of them. But in this book, and I can't remember the author of it, it was explained that the tall cloud, the pool that's on the top, it's in the clouds and it really can't be seen, and then it goes down to the next pool and the next pool and the next pool and the next pool. And the pool that's on the bottom, right, it's fed by all these other things. And because I'm a woman of faith, I look at that top one in the clouds as being my nourishment that comes from my relationship with God, that flows and flows and flows. And if I'm not taking care of myself and my relationships that are important to me, then guess what? I don't have anything down at the bottom to give to anybody. That last pool.
That's right.
That's for other people. It's dry.
That's a great story. And, in AA, they say, you can't keep it if you don't give it away.
Exactly.
Right. And that's kind of the same thing. It's like you get your nourishment, but I'm not going to be able to keep that all unless I share it with other people. And I think, you've been a mentor to me in a lot of ways in this community, because I didn't come into this community in the same way a lot of the people who do volunteer work in this community come in. And the thing I like about that too is no matter where the people come from, everybody has something to offer,
right.
And to volunteer. Hang on, I'm going to let Jolene back in here.
Yeah, please do.
Here she comes. Okay. All right. Great. All right. Here she comes back. So yes, share it. It trickles down. You got to get it somewhere. And I think that, kind of like you're giving, you mentor people in this community. And at the end of all these shows and at the end of any group I do, or at the end of anything I do, I say, take this and share it with people. Give it away. We can't keep it unless we give it away. And so I think that's a really, really important thing. Hi, Jolene.
Hi. Hey. And I think that the process of giving it away also, fills you up too. And as far as weight loss surgery and the weight loss surgery community is concerned, I've really noticed, because I'm so many years out, that there really is a there really is a special time. Usually in a post-op's life, it usually happens somewhere around a year to like about 16, 18 months, and somewhere up to about 2 months, that people really are so grateful for the gift that they've been given of weight loss surgery, whether or not, they've had insurance or gotten a grant or they've been self-paid or whatever, that they really have a strong desire to give back.
Right.
And I think that is what's so great about, organizations and foundations like the Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America, that has a place for people, to go, and also local support groups too, have a place to go. And if you don't have if you don't have a local support group that rocks, start one. That's what we did. That was another thing that's in my thing. We just started a local support group because there was a really huge need for a peer-led group, and that's what we just started. So there's always a place within the community and within the weight loss surgery community, but also in your particular community. I also volunteer at the hospital. And it's great because it's relational, and I'm there when people check in, for all kinds of surgeries. But selfishly, I do it too because so that I can get my steps in.
That's just called win-win, my friend. Win-win.
Yeah, I'm always telling, the staff, oh, do you want me to run this step to the Xerox machine? I can do this. And they go, yes, she loves to walk,
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to come back to some of those specific organizations that you volunteer with and some of the ones that you've actually started yourself. But I want to jump over to Jolene real quick and ask, what areas have you found where you feel most comfortable in the volunteer realm?
Well, I found the Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America, and it's like home. When I go there, when I meet those, and when I'm with those ladies, it's like, I don't know. It's like a family reunion where you like everybody. So it's pretty amazing. I love to talk. I love to, and I'm never been an advocate for someone who says weight loss surgery is for everyone. Everyone needs to have it. I'm the person who says, you know what? It's a serious decision, and if you're not ready to take this step, then don't do it.
Please.
Everybody is different, and it was right for me when I did it. And if it's not the right time for you, I've never been a proponent of it. I'm a proponent of whatever makes you happy.
Awesome. So I wish you would come with me in my office, because when I tell people they're not ready, they're not very happy to hear that from me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But you know what? Sometimes people aren't ready. And I never say you can never do this. I say there are some things that would benefit you so that we can be, more assured of long-term success, which we can never be assured, but we can help set you up
Right.
for better odds. Yeah.
Right.
So this WLSFA, Laura, let's hear it. What is it?
Well, WLSFA, it stands for Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America. And in this May, this will be our 6th year in existence.
Wow.
And we have saved 18 lives. We have 18 surgeries, which is really exciting. And there have been 16 weight loss surgeries, and we've had 2 reconstructive surgery grants, of which Jalyn is one of.
I am.
Jolene, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
Oh, and so the foundation exists to raise funds for people that do not have insurance or who cannot self-pay. So,
and I would like to say, I think that probably indirectly you've saved more than a lot more than 18 lives, because these people who are affiliated with WLSFA, directly or indirectly on the board or coming to the events or supporting it financially or having had a grant being a grant recipient, have told many, many, many others about weight loss surgery and how it changed their lives, which probably in turn led to a few other people opting for that. So I would say it saved a lot more lives than that.
Yeah, probably so. And by the way, we never talk about the benefit that the physicians get, the surgeons that do this. You know, surgeons have people that come into their office all the time that they would love, you know, to give them a surgery, right? Because they see the needs. But in our foundation allows them, by the way, to fulfill that philanthropic need, if you will, you know, that they have to give back, to the community at the place where they get, their livelihood from, basically.
Sure.
And we are so appreciative of the surgeons across the nation.
Well, this, the WSFA is nothing but a win for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Exactly. For the people who go to the event, there's a lot of good education. There are a lot of healthy post-ops to be mentors to the people who are new. There's a lot of fellowship, a lot of fun, and fun is a really important part of learning to live life without food being the main focus. And it's a win for the bariatric surgeons and the communities. And surprisingly, this surprises me a lot, that there are a lot of areas in the country that really don't know yet about WLSFA. The word's getting out there, and hopefully this will be one way for us to spread that message. And you guys all take this back and inform your communities, your bariatric offices, your surgeons, inform the newspaper, for gosh sake, It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Jolyn, how did you become aware of the WLSFA? And tell us about your process through being a recipient.
Well, let's see. So I guess WSFLA worked closely with Alex, who was the producer of All of Me. They worked closely after she got the movie completed. They, really sponsored her and got the word out and helped her promote her movie. And during that, they reached out to me. And in the meantime, I had weight loss surgery already. Lost, 300 pounds and still had a significant amount of weight that after having surgery, the physician, Dr. Katzen, told my sister that, this weight was in such a, he said it was just basically baby fat. He said there's no way she could have dieted all year and never have lost it. So it would have still, I'm so grateful that I, was introduced to them by Alex Lescaz. She's amazing.
She is.
And Weight Loss Surgery Foundation, Dr. Katzen, I just can't believe how much my life is amazing. I just want to hug people and say this is so amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's what you're doing.
And she's a good hugger too.
I'll bet she is. And you would know, because speaking of volunteer work, Laura, tell about, this was part WLSFA affiliate and part specifically Laura Van Tile.
Specifically Laura Van Tile.
How did you reach out? to Jolene when she was the recipient of that surgery?
Let's see. Oh, I could tell stories, Jolene.
Keep them nice now, Laura. I know you.
No, so I went down and helped Jolene, right after recovery. Dr. Katzen he has done 2 reconstructive grant surgery for the WSFA, but I also had surgery done with Dr. Katzen. So I knew him
too.
very well. Yeah, we're all lining up. And anyway, he's such a great surgeon. And so I just, went down there to, help Jolene recover and everything. And we became close.
Yes.
And her sister, by the way, I met her sister, and I just love Zane too. So I don't know if Zane's here, but if she is, hi, Zane.
How much time did you guys spend in close proximity?
Like
Wow.
14 days.
14 days.
14 days that I never left the room. Not one. Well, like one time. One time
That's
I left
right.
the room.
And Laura, I don't think you left much more often than that, did you?
No, I went out. I went. A couple of people came and I went out to lunch and brought Jolene back something. But didn't we love it when Dr. Katzen said, she needs more protein, so I think you better get steak.
Yeah, he said, can you go across the street and get a steak? I'm like, okay. We were excited by that.
I guess if we have to do
Very
that.
cool. Let me tell you, that is the epitome of volunteer,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Well,
I mean,
it was really a joy, by the way, Jolene. I've told you that, and I, love you dearly. I loved you before that, but now I know you so much better. And,
Yeah.
And don't worry, your secrets are good.
Listen, they lived together for 2 weeks with hardly a break, and there's, this is love.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely is right.
So I was so shocked as we were coming out. And we were leaving, to fly to San Antonio, and we were coming out, and she was in the wheelchair, and there was a spot in the hotel that I had to kind of like lift. Remember that, Jolene? And kind of lift, and it was a struggle before, surgery, and then afterwards it was like, whoa! It was. I go, did you notice that? I go, you're just like light as a feather.
She tried to talk me out of the chair the second time.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, well.
Well, I don't know anybody who's volunteered to that degree.
Right.
Which is why I call you the volunteeringest person I know. Speaking of Alex Lascaz, I do want to give her a shout out. She is the one who wrote and produced all of me, the movie. And she's an amazing woman, and I suspect she will be on the show not too far from now. So that will be great. She can tell more about that. Because it's an amazing, amazing documentary.
Yeah.
I just was in awe of what she did.
Yeah.
So being on those 2 shows, you were on another show. Tell us about the other show, if you choose to.
Yes. So I was on My 600-Pound Life. I didn't have health insurance, so I went on the show to have weight loss surgery, basically. Otherwise, I wasn't going to have it. They've given me 2 years of care, and, anyway, so that was the, doctor who did the, gastric bypass. I think I like, there was a lot of negativity that came out of the show. I personally, I don't give that any more credence. That doesn't get any more of my time. My life.
Good for you.
My life is completely different now. Everything is amazing. I feel like that I just can't even, it's just like life is so good. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I love it. I love it. But you're saying in a much more exuberant way,
yes,
what the reason that I give back to this community, because I have found more joy in my life.
That's right.
As a recovering person than I ever dreamed imaginable on this planet.
That is exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly, and who knew that it was, I just didn't know, and I really did think it was going to fix every problem that I had in the whole wide world. But as I'm still don't know how to budget, I'm 40 something years old,
and it hasn't fixed everything, but now I don't have that crutch. I can't say, oh, it's because I'm fat. Now it's like, oh, it's because I'm a bad budgeter.
That, my friend, is what I call accountability, right? And nothing,
Reality.
I thought when I went through treatment in 6 weeks, my life would be all better and I'd be back. That was just the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that for you guys, who have weight loss surgery or lose weight, no matter how, that's just the beginning, right?
Right.
Because now you have the physical ability, you have more emotional space in your head to deal with some of these other issues. When before it was all about the health issues and not being able to do the things you wanted to do in life. And now with that moved aside, not that it's ever gone, because you have to be diligent. You have to be aware and take good care of your health, but you're able to deal with other issues that didn't have time to surface before. And so, of course, not everything's better, Jolene. And I love that part of your volunteer work right now on this show is telling people this doesn't fix everything.
Right.
You got to work in other ways to fix those things.
That's right.
And I was wondering, for both of you, as far as the shows go, either All of Me or the 600-Pound Life or doing this, people might not think of this as volunteer. I do. All of those things, the shows that you were on, I think of that as volunteering on many levels. But what do you guys think about that?
Well, I know how much I got paid, so it's 100% volunteer.
That's yeah.
There you go.
Goal. Yeah, it was volunteer.
Yeah, you didn't get rich on that 600-pound life.
That's right. I didn't get rich in money, but I did get rich in experience. And
right.
I have had the ability to touch so many people's lives through these two shows that it really does fill my heart with joy.
Oh,
absolutely.
Jolene spoke at the WSFA event last year in San Diego, and she's going to speak in Nashville as well. And that is huge, giving back to the community. She was a favorite speaker, and it's interesting how Jolene, you can use your celebrity, if you will, to really reach out and encourage people, because people do know who you are because of my 600-pound life in particular, and it's so great that you feel so comfortable in front of people. By the way, she's amazing speaker.
Absolutely.
And you had never spoken before, have you?
No, that was my first time.
Wow.
And she was like a pro.
Came from the heart.
That's right.
That's what made it so easy.
Yeah. And I agree. So many times, even though I work with people all day, and Laura, you volunteer all the time, and Jolene, you are on these shows, we think, oh, I'm not doing enough. There's so much more that could be done. But I believe that you don't have any idea, sometimes who you touched in such a powerful way.
Right.
And I so see those shows as being volunteer.
Right.
People, my sister-in-law said to me a couple, 2 years ago, you must have millions of dollars. You do all those speaking things and you fly all over the place. And I'm like, that's what I call going broke, trying to get rich. But almost every single event that I have done for the last 11 years, 90+% of them have been out of my pocket. Just like I know, Laura, you fly a lot of places, and Jolene, you've put in time and money and effort. Thank God that we have the ability to do that in their lives. I still got to work a full-time job to pay my bills, but I get so much gratitude for myself, and that's how I keep my recovery as well, by sharing it with other people. So, I think.
And you're going to be in Nashville too.
I am going to be in Nashville too.
Volunteering in Nashville, by the way.
Yes.
So, and we really appreciate the WSFA and the community. Really appreciate the fact that you come and you give of your time, your talents, and your finances, to do that. We really,
along with many, many, many other people who join in on that. Right. So what other volunteer kinds of things do you see as opportunities for people in this community, weight loss surgery, either way? What kind of volunteer activities would you suggest if people go, I just don't know what to do?
Well, there's just, it depends on who you are. You know, if you are a people person like I do, you have to look for places where you can be involved with people, you know, and we have I told you we just started this local peer group, and actually before we had the peer group, we're also involved with, many of us are involved in the hospital support group as well too. So we started a clothes closet, you know, we started something that we called newbie baskets, but now we're into newbie bags. And so that's where you can, and this is, anybody can do this, you know, you get a bunch of samples and stuff from vendors that do bariatric products. And we put in those, some extra special things like back scratchers from the Dollar Tree, because, you know, the day after surgery, you know, the patient and the anesthetic, right? It caused you, the anesthesia caused you to be itchy all over, you know, so we put that in the bag. And we put some fun things in. One of the gals put together these butterfly necklaces, you know, that we put in there for people, you know, and things like that. So that's something anybody can do, and it's not that expensive. And our people at the peer group, they donate to that, you know, a few bucks, you know, every time we meet, and that helps meet the needs. So that's something that we could do within the community. The other thing is to go to the bariatric center. Yes. You know, and especially if you're not so people oriented, and ask them, you know, what, if there's anything that you can do, you know, and there might be something, sometimes there's restrictions because of HIPAA and things like that. But, you know, ask if there's something you can do. I volunteer at the hospital, totally apart from weight loss, the bariatric community. It's just, you know, it's just at the hospital and help intake patients, you know, for surgery. And actually it's kind of hard because, you know, I work on Tuesday mornings, you know, from 5 to 10:30, 5 in the morning to 10:30, and that's when the bariatric patients come through. So I know there's, you know, like yesterday there were 2 patients, you know, that I couldn't say anything, and they aren't in the local Facebook group, and, you know, I just had to, like, you know, not say anything, you know, because of HIPAA laws and things like that. But if they recognize me, if they've been to a Facebook group and support group, and if they recognize me, of course, then I can, you know, talk to them.
Oh, she's freezing. She's freezing. Okay, Jolene, we're going to cut Laura off because she's frozen.
Okay.
You're freezing, friend. You're freezing, my friend Laura. Okay, Jolene.
Yes.
Just for a minute, you did.
Oh.
But you're back.
Anyway, so
welcome back. Yeah, Great suggestions.
Going to hospitals, going to libraries, things like that. A lot of hospitals, the bariatric centers, they don't have the best support groups, you know. So start your own. That's what we did. We started our own Facebook group, and it grew and grew and grew, and to the point where it's like, okay, we can do things as a peer group that we can't do as part of the hospital, you know. So we started our own group, and we've met twice. And the first time we had 60 people, and the last time we had 75. So it's like, it's hard to find a place, by the way. But what that shows is there's this huge, huge need within the community. So anyway, those are some ideas.
Awesome. Jean, those are great. I really appreciate how you said, take your personality into account. A lot of people are like, I don't want to talk in front of people. I don't want to, I don't want to be in front and center of anything. So go and ask, what can I do? Can I put some bags together for you to give out at your support group? Or what can I do behind the scenes?
Well, I know
that's great.
There's a job that they fold, you know, the cloths and stuff that come in from the laundry, they come in this big bag, and they need to all be folded, you know. So there's volunteers that just sit in the room. I call it the sweatshop, and they sit and they fold, you know, they fold things, and they fold the gowns, because other than that, the nurses have to take the time out to unfold the gowns, and, you know, do the snaps on the gowns.
Sure.
Like that. So that's something that volunteers can do that maybe they're not so relational, you know.
And of course, the psychologist in me says, okay, if you're a person who's lonely and you don't know how to get involved, do something like that, because what a fun thing to do, sit around and chat with people, and, you know, small group, make friends. Love it. Okay, Jolene, what else you got?
What else do I have? I'm not, you know, To me, volunteering, so because I'm kind of recognizable, for me, volunteering and is just getting the word out. So, it's going to be for Christmas. My daughter and I got season passes to Fiesta, Texas, which is our local Six Flags. So I plan on wearing lots of my Dr. Katzen gear and my WSFLA t-shirts. So in hopes that somebody will, recognize me and stop and talk, and then I can, share my story and get the word out.
That is really awesome. And people, Laura Preston was just saying there's a huge need everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know, go on any of the weight loss boards and say, I'd like to volunteer. Anybody got a suggestion?
Right.
Or contact one of you guys or one of the people on the side. Also, Obesity Help, Laura Preston was saying this, Obesity Help has a need for volunteers all the time. Mm-hmm. You can volunteer an article to Bariatric Pal, and help people just through your own experiences. There are so many good weight loss organizations doing things that you can just say, hey, I had this thought the other day and I'd like to share it with people. Start a blog. Start a ConnieCast, but don't call it that.
Start a Facebook group, like a healthy Facebook group with no drama. I'd like to think that we don't have drama in our Facebook group, because actually somebody a few years ago, they left it and the gal said, this is just too much it's just, everybody's just too nice in this group.
Oh no!
She left in the cold, cruel world, and she came back a couple of months later and said, "Can I get in that group again? It's not good out there." And so I said, "Yeah, awesome. Sometimes it's nice to be there, encouraging one another." By the way, you can just go Google. You can Google for volunteer opportunities I live near Portland, in the Portland, Oregon area, and they all come up. You can, if you're faith-based, you can Google for faith-based volunteer organizations, and you can find that. So if you want to get out of the weight loss surgery community, which sometimes it's fun, we're kind of,
sure.
inundated with, with that. It's kind of nice sometimes to go and show up somewhere else where people don't know that you had weight loss surgery and just live normal,
Right.
So there's lots of opportunities. And the fun thing about volunteering is that, you can actually, if you have a job that maybe isn't in your passion area, you can volunteer in the area where you have a passion for. Of course, you have to have the skills, but you can also volunteer and get some of those skills.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
One of my absolute favorite things to do is do interactive talks with patient groups, because it's so much more fun for me than the professional groups. Because professionals, when they go to continuing education or, they're a little bored. It's kind of like putting in my time, got to get the continuing ed credits. But when I get the opportunity to work with patients, it's amazing because they're eager to learn and they want to learn, and they're, they want to share with others too. So one of the things I like to do, I've done quite a few things with Laura out in the Seattle, Portland area. And we've had, some of them have been paid events and some of them have been volunteer events. But that is one of the things I like to do most, is to do volunteer events with patient groups. So hint, hint, tell your organizations that I like to do that. And I'd be glad to work something out.
Sounds good.
But another suggestion by Laura Preston, who I thank very much, and Yvonne, you guys are wonderful support over there, kind of leading the chat section, is like-minded people. Join up with like-minded people. If you like outdoors, volunteer to do some outdoor things. If you like outdoors and weight loss stuff, start a walking group. There's a woman in Florida, I don't know if she's with us on here tonight, but she has started a virtual Walk Across America group for weight loss patients, and they just log in and see how many miles they've walked. And then she said, okay, we made it from, Seattle to Portland today, and it's just kind of a fun thing to be a part of. Anybody can start something like that. So take your passion, like Laura said, do something you enjoy, find other like-minded people, and go do it, explore, because it is a win-win. You win, other people win.
Right.
So,
all right.
So I wanted
go ahead.
everybody to come to Nashville, right? Can I say something about
that? Please.
Come and meet Jalyn and me and Connie.
Oh my gosh, we're all going to be there.
We're all going to be there.
We are. We're all going to be there. Great speakers. We're going to pretty much on Friday. It's going to be pretty much all of our breakout sessions, except for a few, are going to be patient-led with panels and and things like that. And so, Connie, do you want to talk about what you're going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to be speaking, and Laura, we haven't decided what that topic's all about, because you gave me a title and I don't know what it means, but it's be bold, get out there. So I'm going to be talking about be bold and getting out there and doing your thing. And it'll be good and it'll be fun, and we will have laughs, I assure you, and education and friendship.
That's right. And we have a special session for support people that are coming. So if you have boyfriend, girlfriend, spouses, moms, whatever, or dads that are coming.
Sisters.
What'd you say?
Sisters.
Yeah, family members. Have them come. And my husband, Larry, will lead that session with one of the other husbands. And, and really talk about sometimes we forget about them, right? We forget about our support people. And so he's going to be giving people a place to share some things and maybe get some help about some things that they're struggling with. So be sure and come. Dr. Weiner will be there. Everybody knows Dr. Weiner, I think, because he's done 1.5 million YouTube. Oh, Connie, you got to look at it.
Oh, no, I am.
Yeah, everybody likes him because he's an attractive surgeon,
Says Dr. Katz's going to be there.
What?
Dr. Katzen, yes.
Oh, Dr. Katzen's going to be there. Mark Long's going to be there.
Mark Long's going to be there.
That's right. Jalyn.
He's my teenage crush.
He's your teenage crush?
Yes.
I love it. Mine's Bobby Sherman. I don't think anybody's even old enough to know who he was.
Well, I'm a lot older than you, and I don't know who he is. So.
Oh, come on. Bluest guys you've ever seen in Seattle? Let's see. What was the show called? Something about brides. Here Come the Brides. Laura, it was filmed in Seattle.
Brothers, right?
No, and not that one, actually. That was a different one.
There was like many years of my life that I didn't watch, TV or go to too many movies.
Well, Nellie 6362 loves Bobby Sherman, and I do too. And I could sing some of his songs,
Maybe not.
Oh, well, I like to do that on air, but I won't. The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle.
Oh, I know that song. I know that song.
Bobby Sherman. Now you know who I'm talking about.
I know the song. I'll Google him. Okay, I'll Google him.
I was I'm telling you, he was my first love. Painful. Do you hear me? Painful.
Okay. I was a Beatles girl, so.
I wanted him to volunteer his arms to wrap me up in.
Oh my God.
I thought I'd make it relevant to tonight's topic,
Yeah,
okay.
You're going to be looking for a counselor after this. Oh, I'm going to be looking for a counselor for you. I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry. This conversation is going. We're too good of friends here, I think.
We're derailing. Hey, we're just volunteering our humor. Humor is an important part of life. And I have not said one cuss word on tonight's show, so we have not yet derailed.
I saw your lips move before everybody came on.
Oh, you guys are great. You are amazing in how you give to this community, but also how you are a part of the community. It's not you're the expert and this is you're part of this community. You are in this community. You're living this program. You are learning for yourselves, and you are sharing with others. And that's what life is all about, is what I believe.
Right.
You're good role models.
Well,
for
thank
everybody, for me, for everybody else. And we have a record number of people joining us tonight. And I hope that those of you who weren't able to be here, that it doesn't even make sense, right? Those of you who are here, please tell your friends who weren't able to make it to join us. The ConnieCasts are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I want to say that Laura Preston and Yvonne McCarthy are very much integral in this every week, even though they may not be on screen, and I value them and thank them very much. And to those of you who want to do a segment, please let me know. There's a lot of need for ongoing education and fun and giving back, and people want to know what you're doing that makes it work for you. So thank you very much. You guys, give a last whatever you want to give. If it's see you in Nashville, which I'll give for you, we will all see you in Nashville. If you haven't signed up, Laura, where do they go?
They go to WLSFA.org /meet greet.
That last part was what? / what?
Meet
greet.
Okay. All right. And if they can't find that, look up Laura Van Tile on Facebook or WLSFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can get me on Twitter at Laura is healthy.
Laura, you know what? Can you see where to type in there?
Yes.
Laura is. You want to put in the WLSFA information?
Yes.
Jolene, anything you want to put in for contact information, please feel free to type that in there.
Okay.
What would you like to say to everyone before we log off?
Just, it's so great to give back and just let people know, what they can truly, truly expect. It's not a miracle.
That's right. And it's not going to fix you, but you can fix yourself. And that's
right.
To me, it's all about healing that relationship with self.
That's right.
Keep on keeping on, ladies. Thank you. You are my friends, and I can't wait to see you both.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, Yvonne.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, go give it away. Bye-bye.
Bye.